And welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. It's Thursday. We're wrapping up the week, at least my week right now, because I've noticed that most people don't watch a lot of videos on the weekend, but I'm going to have a special one on Sunday, which is the first of the month, and I'm going to talk about my Patreon and my AMA from last night. We had a small but a close-knit group on our Patreon last night. Some good questions, some good conversation, and a lot of talk about Divi. And I'm going to be sharing some of the excerpt of that. I got permission from everyone to do that, but I'm sharing that story and that clip with Patrick, Divi Daddy, joined me there. And we started just conversing about all the different aspects of Divi and the tokenomics and how things are evolving. Some things he can't share, but what it led to is we're going to be doing a segment on a semi-regular basis talking about Divi. And I want to ask you, the audience, if you like that idea, if you want me to bring other experts on projects like Theta or other things to come on those projects. Maybe we'll talk about Matic. Maybe we'll get Papa Joe on here and just talk about the projects and just because then we'll be a very focused topic. It won't be just generality. I talk a lot about generalities. I'll be talking a lot about the third world again today and sharing a lot of information from a YouTuber that I've been watching for years. And he's based in New Zealand. And it's very important to have an international perspective on cryptocurrency because it's a global phenomenon. So lots to get to. Let me start by pausing here and sharing some of the content and some of the things I learned and I also knew ahead of time. But here's a few stories on the international perspective that comes from Lark Davis. So I'm going to share a little bit of content from a fellow YouTuber who's been doing this a lot longer. And I've been watching him for a long time. It's Lark Davis, and he's based in New Zealand. And the reason I'm sharing his information is because, as I've been talking about most of the week and probably for the last couple months, a lot of the action in crypto is not happening in the United States or even in Europe. So I think there's a lot going on that needs to be looked at from a global perspective. And again, as I've been saying both on Instagram and here, that the third world is going to probably lead this revolution, not the first. So what's considered the third world as the IMF or the WEF or World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, Bank International Settlements. Pick three letters. Like all these big entities that define who's in what world, but the third world countries need crypto a lot more than the U.S. or Germany or England or so on. So, because banking the unbanked, freedom, all that other stuff. So let's talk about what's going on a global perspective, and one of the best ways to get that is to look at someone who's a YouTuber from not the United States. And Lark is based in New Zealand. So I went through, I watched his channel last night and I picked up on a few different things. So I wanted to share them. First off, he mentioned Dubai, and I'll just jump over to that tab. So Dubai, and I'm still waiting for my Dubai the Dip shirt. I got to get one of those made. But even Bitcoin Magazine picked up on this. So Bitcoin Magazine talked about this and said, here you go, Dubai-based real estate giant Damac, or Damac, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Damac Properties is to accept Bitcoin as payment. They're taking Bitcoin, and I believe they're also taking Ethereum as well. So, yeah, actually, if you dig in here, Bitcoin and Ethereum, look, the cursor works. Still working on all the different details and different ways I can share my screen. But so there's that. Dubai is trying to become a major player in not just crypto, but also the world. The world of crypto. They want to become I don't want to say the mecca of crypto, but I guess that would be the appropriate, but I don't want to offend anyone, but you know what I'm saying. It's the go-to place for crypto. Dubai wants to be that place. So, next, South America, yet again, comes up. Buenos Aires in America, but Buenos Aires mayor touts plan that permits tax payments in Bitcoin. Now, as Lark points out, why would you want to pay that? But again, if you have to pay a tax and you want to avoid a transaction fee, hey, pay it in Bitcoin. They want the Bitcoin for sure, but this is just Buenos Aires. I'm going to forget it. Anyway, this is Argentina recognizing Bitcoin as legal tender, essentially. And there's just another country to say, we're going to be leading the charge here. And again, another one in South America is Brazil's Senate just approves the Bitcoin law to regulate cryptocurrency. So again, back to what I keep saying about Rio. Rio is already, it's in their budget to use Bitcoin. Now, when Rio starts, now you lead over to Brazil. Brazil is one of the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And there's lots of activity in all 5 in crypto space. And as Lark points out, let's see, I don't think I have the tweet open, but he basically says that there's going to be 3.8 billion people added to the crypto space, or that might be the total, but that's over half the planet in the next decade is going to be in crypto. So it's going to be significant. So he talks about, he even mentioned a story that I've been talking about all week, and I guess he caught up to me, but we're all catching up to each other because so much is going on. Second country officially adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, Central African Republic, which he put on a map, which is good because most people don't know where it is, but it's in the central part of Africa. Go figure. But their GDP is a fraction of El Salvador. So it's not necessarily a big financial story, but is a big global economy story. Second government, second country adopting Bitcoin. Then there will be a third, and then a fourth, and then there'll be transactions between countries that in Bitcoin. And it's just going to continue to expand and consume. This is a major step for something that didn't exist less than 15 years ago. Like in 2009, Bitcoin was born with a white paper from Satoshi, and less than 15 years later, now we've got countries using it. Okay, from like, can we even use this as money? Then it becomes internet money. Then you buy a pizza or two for way too many Bitcoin, and it is what it is. Back then, you can't really compare that. It's like comparing, you could buy a house for, I don't know, $1,000 back in the 1920s. Numbers might be off a little bit, but you get the idea. It's not fair to say, I should have bought 1,000 houses back then. Not quite a fair comparison, but you get the idea. There's lots going on in the globe. I want to share some of the stories. Now let's go ahead and go back to full screen and wrap this up for today. Okay, so that about does it for today. It's a short and sweet video. I just want to get right to the point, not waste your time. I like to do that. But that's where we're at. We have lots going on in the globe. South America, South Africa too. Check out my Instagram. You'll see that there's a story there as well. It's LitecoinLeader, and all my socials LitecoinLeader, except for my Twitter, which is jpinnacle2. So, but you can reach me there until they ever give my other old one back. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see how the new Twitter does. I'm looking to see how that re-evolves or gets reimagined by Elon. But it's important to keep that international perspective. It's important to look at different projects. I like to tie a lot of different things together and give you my perspective and how everything fits. It's a complicated story, no matter which aspect of crypto or the economy you look at. So I appreciate you guys spending the time with me, and I just want to give you a little bit each day, and then give you some days back to catch up on the weekend. But there's more content coming out. There's going to be more stuff across the board, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by and giving me the time. And so please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Like which projects would you like me to talk about? Who should I have on the channel? Who should I be reaching out to? Because I do have a larger circle of friends now, especially other influencers. But I want to get people in the projects, Didn't mean to go all urban on you, but I meant from the projects that we could talk about. Divi, Theta, all these Matic, all these other projects that we're interested in. And I'll try to get someone on like every other month or so, just like have a 5 or 10 minute chat about what's to come. I think they'd love to do that. And if you're from a project and you want to talk about your project, let me know. Leave a comment or hit me up on all my socials or hit me up on LitecoinLeader.com. So I've said a lot today, as I tend to do. It is my channel, but my job is to talk to the camera, and hopefully you guys listen and enjoy it. So if you do, give me that thumbs up, and I appreciate that, and share me out on your socials and help the channel grow. Let's get the word out and promote that adoption however we can. But with lots said today, I'm going to close the drawer in the bureau, say follow leader one more time, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.